Okay, so
especially in the GCC market or maybe the US markets.
Okay, so again with the market, there's a difference in color palettes and everything. So you've just put across an example called GCC market.
So hi guys, welcome to another episode of Echofied, brought to you by Unbound Slate, where we are going to explore the intersection of design, technology and design culture. So I'm Aravind.
Hi, this is Umesh here.
Yes, so today's episode is all about web aesthetics and user experience. So two crucial aspects of web design, that works together to create a beautiful website or a brand presence, online brand presence for a brand, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so when you talk about website, the two crucial part is called web aesthetics and user experience.
Okay.
All right. So let's discuss about web aesthetics first.
Okay.
Okay. So what is web aesthetics? So that's what you talk about. When you it's like the typography, the layout, the color palettes. Everything that makes a website looks very seamless.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoyable. That's what web aesthetics is all about.
Okay.
And when you come to user experience, let's go into detail later. But when it comes to the second part of the crucial part is the web, is the user experience, and that means how you interact with the website.
Mm-hmm.
So that's combining these two things. Finding a balance is all about when you find a very seamless, something that can create a beautiful site there.
Understood. Okay. So, Mish, what would you say are the key aspects of web aesthetics when you look at building a website for any brand that comes at you? What are the key elements or components that you look at?
So, okay, I have a different opinion about things here. So, this is my personal experience again.
Got it.
So, web aesthetics is all about, like I said, typography, color layout, and everything. But before that, the key part is doing a market research on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's say a client approaches you for a website. So what do you do first? It's not that you can just take random fonts, color palettes, and everything.
Yes.
So what you have to do is find the target audience. Find the users, whether the user is going to be using the website on a desktop, a mobile, a tab, or whatever it is. And once you find out the target audience, and that's when you can find out, what color palette works for that market, what type of font is the apt one for it, and the layout, the picture quality, everything matters. That's what web aesthetics is all about,
Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. So what do you think of websites that you see today with a lot of green, yellow, fluorescent colors? What do you think about such kind of websites?
The market now is, the hounding for the market is so big that, everybody's trying to outdo the next person, So what happens? You end up gimmicking designs. You end up, putting a lot of elements into it. And at the end of the day, what happens is you end up with a dissatisfied user.
Okay.
So bringing in a lot of elements doesn't make a website user-friendly.
True.
It's about, let's take an example of Apple website. Okay, so there's a lot of white space, the quality of the image is good, the font is nice, the user flow is good. So that's one of the examples that I can easily give you, what it looks like a very modernized and seamless site.
Okay, so with millions of fonts out there, like you're saying fonts a lot, so with millions of fonts out there, how do you think an organization should come down to identify one single font? Okay,
so there's a few checklists that you need to do when you go to a website design. So there are typical fonts that people, with experience and with the market understanding, you end up using it.
Okay.
So let's get into branding there. So even in branding, you would find that there's a certain type of elements that you can use for branding, and there's certain elements that you can put for your website. So that's a differentiation.
Okay.
So likewise, even for fonts, there are certain fonts which actually goes well with the markets.
Okay.
So that's what you pick.
Got it.
Picking up.
Okay. So, even with everything present, the market research, the font options, the color options, why do you think there are still websites that look like they were built in the 1990s still available online?
Okay. So
especially in the GCC market or maybe the US markets.
Okay, so again with the market, there's a difference in color palettes and everything. So you've just put across an example called GCC market. So the type of color which is used in India is different from the color palettes used in GCC country, and it's different in Philippines, it's different in Malaysia.
True.
So it goes, in different ways, right? So what I feel here is, when you talk about these, having these websites which is very outdated, I think they've not done a proper market research. So you have clients coming to me. I've had clients coming to me asking like, I want to redesign a website. Or let's say I want to tweak a website.
Okay, yeah.
So this is more about you do a certain research on it and find out whether your website is able to narrate what you're actually planning to do, deliver.
Okay.
So there's something called a quantitative and qualitative research. So quantitative is what you call a technical analysis, data analysis, and everything. When you talk about qualitative, that's about if your website is able to narrate what it's actually planning to deliver to the users, to the public.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So let's say there's a high bounce rate in your service page. Okay. So let's say it can be because of the image is not exactly putting out the message there, or it can be you don't have ample links, hyperlinks there. Or it can be the heading itself is a bit confusing.
Okay.
There can be hundreds of reasons for it. So unless you do a proper market research, find out what the user needs, find out what the target audience is, you'll just end up putting a lot of elements because that's not how a website should be made.
True. Okay, so I think that comes down to the next topic wherein we talk about user experience, right? So when you're talking about banner image, the font, the size of the font, it all boils down to user experience, right? So what exactly is user experience in design?
User experience is about interacting with the site.
Okay.
How enjoyable the site is. How comfortable you can just play around, navigate, find your purpose, what you came for.
Okay.
So user experience is all about just moving around, easily with the site. Yeah.
Okay, so how refined do you think is the intersection between the user experience and the web aesthetics aspect of things?
Okay, before that, I think when you come to user experience, there are three key principles.
Okay.
So that's the usability, the accessibility, and the user flow.
Okay.
So when you talk about usability, is basically the functionality side.
Functionality side, yes.
So you can take examples of Amazon, Spotify, Airbnb. These are very functional sites.
It's all different industries.
Yes,
right?
These are it's spread across different domains. That's the functionality side. The web has to be providing all the functional side of it, and the accessibility is making the website available to the public. Including the people who are disabled.
Okay.
Let's not forget that the living of the disabled is the largest minority in the world, which covers over 1 billion worldwide. So that has to be accounted for.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Then there's the user flow. So user flow is all about how the navigation is being set up, how the layout of the site, and that's how that's the key three principles of the user experience. So finding a balance between the web aesthetic and the user experience is what makes a site good. So we have a lot of examples there out in the market where both have become both have been balanced in a way that it's been put out in such a way that everybody uses very easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So again, coming back to what I had asked you initially, how fine should that intersection be? So you've explained web aesthetics, you've explained user experience. I believe all of our viewers have a fair understanding of what it is now. So how fine or how much research should be put in to create a website or e-commerce portal or anything that is a brand presence out there on the global scale, right? So how fine should that intersection be?
Okay. Let's say you have a site with a good design and or a good functionality and a terrible design.
Okay.
That's again is going to leave the user dissatisfied. So the research, I think, is the key element first again, you need to find the target audience. Like I said, is it mobile? Is the users going to be basically on mobile? That's important because then the mobile optimization has to be done better. So likewise, the page loading speed has to be taken into account. The spacing has to be managed good. Putting a lot of content doesn't make a website good. Again, a lot of people think, let's put up a lot of data into it. That's again never going to work.
True.
You need to have good quality images at the same time. Something like what I said, a qualitative research where the image is able to narrate itself. Finding all these things is what makes it good. Again, so we have all. When you talk about research, let me put a different example. So you have when you go to a fintech domain, you have two big giants in Indian market. So you have Paytm and you have PhonePe. So Paytm, if you look at it, you have a blue and white background. So again, white being the majority there. But if you go to PhonePe, which is very similar, you have a dark mode. So why is it different? Both are from fintech.
Good question, Good question, yes.
That comes from a research. So they've done ample research. They understand the dark mode, how the dark mode works. What the generation nowadays who's going to use it, right? Let's say my grandpa is never going to use a phone. So my children would use. Probably my parents and myself. So that's the generation that you're targeting about when you look at fintech, right? Or the future generation, like I said, my children. So dark mode is again a part of the research. So that's how, and you have AI-driven, data which helps you understand the preferences and behavior. So that helps you to understand what has to be put across in a website that will end up giving a user what they want and giving them a very enjoyable, giving them a brand identity as well. So once I get into an Apple, like I've given you an Apple example there, right? Once I get into an Apple site, I'm okay to get into another time because see, the website is there. There are about 20 or 10 or 12 pages there, but I'm easily navigating, finding my product, easily checking out, and work is done. I'm so happy with the site. So that's what I would.
Okay. So when you say Apple, right? Apple is a large organization. Can a smaller organization with, let's say, limited resources in terms of financial capabilities or manpower supply, can they also reach that kind of stage where Apple is?
Why not? See, Apple being a giant player doesn't make it. Is not gonna make a difference here. So. Yes, there's an expense when you end up creating a website. Probably a lot of people think the highest paid code is what going to give you the best website. No, sorry. I have a very different opinion on that. So you just need to find the right person. And see, when I go to companies, if I want a website done, I would understand what type of process do they handle. What sort of questions do they ask me? So I'm the one who's taking the business. I'm going to tell them, I have this business and I want to bring it to the digital version, digital market. So is the service company asking me the right questions?
True.
So doesn't mean if they're quoting $1,000 less. Right? It doesn't matter. If they're asking me the right questions and if I'm able to understand how they've actually delivered for their previous clients, and I can look at their case studies, I can understand how they've executed that project. I can understand, this person can actually
it also boils down to the fact that the founder or the key decision maker needs to have a clear vision, right?
Very true. So there are clients who just come up with I already have a logo and I already have taglines and everything. I've done all the branding. All that I need is a website. And then you have clients who's coming up. I have a vision. Can you build it for me?
Yes.
Can you bring business for me? Right. So. Of course, yes, website is not the only thing that's going to bring business, but there's things connected with it, like the technology, the digital part, like the SEO, digital marketing. There are a lot of ways which is going to tag on to it.
True.
But I think the first step, the first impression, the visual identity
Yes.
is what a website is all about.
I think that's where Apple have established themselves
True.
as, right?
Yeah.
Even the players that you were saying, Phone Pay or Paytm, both of them had the same vision, I believe. Yes.
True.
All right. So I think before we go more into this topic, let's have a quick rapid round session where you just shout out your opinions or your thoughts directly, right?
Sure.
Let's say a website has 50 pop-ups, autoplay music, flashy banner. So is it really trying to sell products or is it trying to hurt your eyes? What do you think?
Like I said, there's a lot of fight between people here to see who's gonna come onto the top. So people end up gimmicking a lot of designs. They take up, okay, somebody has done a very good work. You like their work, so you're just gonna pick up those elements from there. Somebody has done something different. Oh my God, that looks amazing. I need that. I need that in my site. They're just gonna bring a lot of things. That's not gonna bring, bring any kind of output.
So it's fair to say that it's going to hurt your eyes, right?
True. Very
Okay,
true.
got it.
You're not gonna end up bringing business to yourself.
Got it. Okay, next question. So is there a secret competition amongst websites to hide contact us buttons specific? Because it's very difficult to find that CTA on many websites.
So again, I did mention about the navigation part. Okay, so that's where the call to action button, what you call the CTA, is all about. So I think that it's something that people are missing. So you need to have ample. So when you create a landing page, you need to have ample CTA buttons, call to action buttons. Because if you look at a person getting getting into a website, and you can actually understand the data, how long a person spends on a website. Let me say the person is going to spend 80% of the time on their landing page first. Okay, so if you don't have ample call to action buttons where you can actually get those details from the user details, data is the key. Data is the business.
Yes.
You go to an education domain, you go to a fintech. Data is all everything.
Okay.
Unless you can get those data in, what's the point? You can have an amazing landing page where you'll have to go to a contact page separately to fill in your details. There you go. You've lost your business.
Okay, so next question. So let's say a website takes more than 10 seconds to load, right? So should the founder send an apology email to the consumer, or how does that work? So what do you think about that?
I would say he's chosen the wrong service partner. I would say anything below 5 seconds is a good one. I think you can still make it faster. But again, it's not just about the website design there. So we're missing the point. It's about the technology.
True.
Okay. So a creative designer is not going to give you a website that can load below 5 seconds. So you have the technical department there playing a huge role. So having a latest technology or the apt one is what makes it good. So yeah.
Okay. So next question. So in today's mobile heavy world, do you think if a site is not mobile friendly, that the site itself should throw out a magnifying glass for you to view the website?
See, it's a mobile. Everywhere when you get a proposal, what you see is a mobile first design. I'm not sure people are still following it, but I think they need to really put in that effort there. So everyone uses a mobile. See, when I've traveled across, I've seen people standing in a queue just to get into a bus while everyone is practically spending their time on
the mobiles. True.
Nobody even raises their chin.
True.
Everybody's sticking onto the phone. They're checking out new text clothes. They're checking out new accessories. They're checking out new electronics. So practically, I would say 80% of the people today is spending their time on a phone.
True.
I have a phone which is a Fold 4, so I can make into probably a size of a
mini tab.
A mini tab here. So nobody's taking your desktops or your laptops and walking around now.
Okay.
So it has to be mobile friendly. It has to be optimized in a way that people can view in any form of screens.
Okay. Okay. So next question I have is on the navigation bar of a website. So in today's world, you're seeing more and more designs coming as with hamburger icons, where you have to click on the hamburger icon, then go to the about section, click on the hamburger again, go to the contact us section. So is there like a hide and seek game going on between developers and the tech industry to hide navigation bars?
See, a lot of people like animation now,
Okay.
and they're just gonna, like I said, they want to have those animation items and something different.
Yeah.
But they missed the point there.
Missed the point, yes.
People are coming onto their site for a purpose.
Mm.
They want to get those details in. And if somebody is getting into an Amazon, what they want is an easy checkout. Find the product, get the proper searches, get into the checkout page, pay their amount, and go. So likewise, a different place, Spotify. Let's take Spotify. Spotify. What do you do in Spotify? So you find your music and listen to it and add to your playlist. So it's actually it's actually missing the point there. I feel people haven't given the importance of what sort of mistakes can come. So there's actually a checklist.
Okay.
I don't think people even follow it. Probably, yes, a lot of experienced creative designers end up doing it but not following it.
Okay.
But I still feel, if you go to a Google and just type in what are the website checklists,
okay.
you'll find a few of them. And the first phase comes on to the research, and the second phase comes on to the design part.
Okay.
And there's a different, there's technical, there's testing, and so and so. So there's a checklist, and I don't think people even follow it. Let's take, if I tell you, most of the designs now is all about colors. I don't think they even think about the disabled people like we were talking about. So
Okay.
I think people need to follow that. Or when people come into your company, they need to be given a proper understanding of how things has to be created, what sort of the right question has to be put forward to the client, so that you can get the info in and end up creating a beautiful one.
That's nice. That's wonderful. So what do you think is the impact of AI or futuristic technology like virtual reality, augmented reality, on how consumers will start perceiving even a normal website? You have your Vision Pro coming in, right? Your Vision Pro might be discounted, might not be, but you have other virtual reality goggles. So do you think websites should now start accommodating that as well, and it should be user friendly on a virtual platform, on a metaverse platform? What do you think about that?
Okay, so AI. So that's on the table now.
Yes,
for
it's on
everyone.
the table, yes.
Of course, this is going to give you a lot of data in understanding the preferences and the behavior of people. So you want to create an e-com site. Yes, you can understand the way the people deal with these sites and help you to create a beautiful one which gives you a proper impact to the market.
Yes.
Okay. So of course the augmented reality and the virtual reality is all into play. There's a lot of apps into education, let's say into electronics, into cars, automobile industry as well. People have started having these on their website because to give the user a very good experience.
Good experience.
Of course, Persian. Let's say I have two automobile brands here. I'm just naming it.
Yeah.
No offense there. So let's say Tata has something, and they have an AI experience. So I can, and it's not the images of the car which is on the site. It's about giving you an experience, actually inside the car. You can have a feel.
You're talking about virtual reality.
Exactly.
Right?
You're talking about virtual reality. So you actually get a feel of how the car is, not just the images that you see.
You can open the door. You can sit on the front seat.
Exactly. You can turn it around. You can see how each and every parts of the car has been set up. The beautiful design of all the colors and everything. So you actually get pulled into that brand just by using this technology. So this is the future. Okay, this is the future. People will start using it. Yes. Like we said, not every person can actually, have it on their site because it's going to cost you a lot.
Yes.
But yes,
I think it's moving towards affordability, right?
Yes, it will. Now, yes, a lot of companies will start using it, but let's say 5 years down the lane, a lot more companies will be having these augmented reality, virtual reality part. You have games, you have learning apps using these things, and this is going to make wonders.
Yes. So you were saying about Tata, but I think a brand going forward like Mustang, right, should even have the option to rev the engine and hear the voice of the engine.
True. I mean, of course, even when you go to YouTube or something, the first thing is what you look for a Mustang when is you're very excited about the sound, right? So yes, that has to be a part of it. It would be wonderful to see. Every brand has a certain USP.
Yeah.
So Mustang has its own shape. Yes, the brand comes from very far from US. From a muscle car. That's the parent. But again, the sound is what gets you to that brand. You know? And if they're able to actually produce it to the site, it'll be wonderful.
So it all boils down to catering to your target audience, or what exactly people would be enticed by, right?
True.
Okay. So what are the key advices or thoughts you have for people out there? It might be an organization, for FMCG group, a startup, an entrepreneur. What are the key advice points that you have?
See, key advice I would say, from my personal opinion again, is please understand the user audience when you're planning to create a website. Make it a mobile optimized version, because everybody is on your phone. It's an easy accessible point. So please make it mobile optimized. The AI is the next generation, so you can use those data to understand how things are going to play off the behavior. Again, like I said before, this is going to help you out there. And unless you have these three key elements covered, that's when you end up creating a good website, a seamless one, very intuitive and a very user friendly. So that's it's plain and simple. So it's not rocket science. You can easily find this in Google. So it's not like it's something that have come out from mine. But please keep in mind that user audience or the target audience is where the business is. Data is the business. So it's not about putting flashy colors, a lot of elements. You use images from Google. I think if you can produce image which is very unique to your business, it would make wonders. It would make
you have AI generated tools nowadays, right? So
yes,
it makes it much easier.
Yeah, it has to be narrative. Like I said, everything that you put across in your site has to have a narrative thing.
True.
It has to make you feel that I'm on the right spot.
You're on the right spot. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That has to be stated there.
Okay. That sounds wonderful, Umesh. So I think that just to wrap things up, I would say that web aesthetics and user experience are inseparable, right?
True. It's that's where you're gonna find that magic. Like I said, the visual identity of a brand is what is gonna bring this aesthetics and the user experience. That's the balance. If you find that balance, the functionality, the layouts, the images, like I said before, if you find a good balance between it, I'm going to say that you've produced a good website there.
All right. So I think that's it.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Echofied. I hope everyone is leaving with some fresh insights on this website designing. So happy designing for everyone, and bye for now.
I'm sure there are, Umesh. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down or get in touch with us, and then we'll get back to you. The next episode is going to cover all about brand positioning, which is a vast sea of things. We're also going to cover how luxury brands use different food techniques, sports techniques to cover digital media, expand their user base, grow their revenue, and how overall brand positioning is going to help a business grow as such. So that's it from my side as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.